Have you noticed that billionaires and large entrepreneurs seem to have a unique ability to achieve success without boasting? While many of us spend hours explaining our plans, seeking external validation, or try to convince others of our vision, the most successful people in the world have a powerful secret. They do not share their plans before realizing them. They know that the real secret is not talking about what you're going to do, but about focusing on running quietly, focused, and discreet. But why is this secret so effective? When you talk about what you're going to do before you act, you risk dispersing your energy, attracting distractions, and even face criticism that can undermine your motivation. The search for external validation creates a false sense of conquest, and often you spend more time explaining your plans than actually performing them. Billionaires, on the other hand, protect their dreams and ideas with silence, creating the perfect environment to work in peace and perform their goals accurately. Now imagine that you can apply this powerful strategy to your life. Imagine being able to focus completely on what really matters: execution. Imagine surprising the world with your real achievements, instead of spending months or even years talking about what you are going to do. Stay until the end of the video and find out how this secret can be your biggest ally on the way to success. Let us together learn to protect your dreams, avoid distractions, and turn your ideas into real achievements. Subscribe now to the channel, enable notifications, and do not lose any content that can change the course of your projects. In a world where everyone wants to share their ideas and plans, there's a powerful secret that few know: silence. It may seem contrary, but keeping your dreams, goals, and projects to 7 keys may be the key to success. Silence offers a protected space where the mind can work without external interruptions, without validation pressure, and without distractions. It is in it that ideas flourish, without hurry to be tested, judged, or discredited. Maintaining confidentiality at first can, in fact, be the most effective strategy for achieving great achievements. Often, the hurry to share our plans is moved by a need for external validation, a desire to be recognized before we've made any significant progress. This leads us to trap the need to explain, justify, and detail our plans to others, when in fact, what we need is focus and execution. The more you share, the more energy is dispersed, and what begins as a great idea can get lost in the way of validation and expectation of others. The secret, therefore, is to focus on execution and not in words. Have you ever noticed how many people spend more time explaining their plans than actually performing them? It is as if the simple act of talking about something is enough to feel accomplished. This is because, upon receiving compliments or approval, the brain releases serotonin, creating a false sense of conquest. However, this sensation is temporary and does not generate real results. The secret is not to be seduced by this immediate gratification, and instead invest in the hard work that will lead to true achievement. Premature sharing can be dangerous terrain, as it exposes its plans to the judgment of others. External criticism and expectations can undermine your motivation, making you doubt your own ability or even abandon the project. Remember that success is a lonely journey until it is realized. By maintaining silence, you preserve the power of self-discipline and confidence in the process. The secret is to understand that the right time to reveal the plans is one in which you already have something concrete to show the world. Finally, when choosing silence, you gain the power of surprise. Imagine the impact of achieving a great achievement and, at the right time, revealing to the world what you were able to accomplish. This not only strengthens its self-confidence, but also ensures that focus, clarity, and productivity are not committed by external influences. The secret of success is often not saying anything, but in doing everything. How many times have you caught yourself telling others about a great idea or plan, just to realize that, deep down, there was nothing concrete yet? This is a common mistake, but full of silent consequences. The simple act of sharing your plans ahead of time can steal the energy you need to really put them into practice. The secret is that power is to keep your projects under the veil of silence until you have something solid to show, or until they become unmayable. Only then do you preserve the focus, motivation, and real chance of conquering. When you reveal a plan prematurely, the expectation of others begins to act as a weight. The questions, the suggestions, and even the often well-meaning criticism can generate external pressure that does not exist when you are working in silence. This can shake your confidence, affect your performance, and even change the course of the project. The secret here is simple: do not allow the judgment of others to interfere with their process of creation and execution. Focus on planning and executing without the need for external validation. Social pressure is also another factor that makes revelation premature a risk. We live in a society where competition and comparison are on the rise. By exposing your plans, you end up putting yourself on the fire line, subject to criticism and comparisons, which can be demotivating. The only way to escape this trap is to act with discretion. Storing your plans until they are ready to reveal helps to maintain your motivation intact and to keep control over your journey toward success. In addition, the need to share and receive approval is often linked to the search for external motivation. However, the real fuel for accomplishment comes from self-confidence and self-discipline. When you reveal your intentions before you have concrete results, it is as if the motivation fuel was burned before you even start execution. Instead, use silence to feed your own internal motivation. The action, not speaking, is what builds real success. Finally, the big secret is the surprise. Just imagine you kept your plans, worked in silence, and then, when the right moment comes, you introduce yourself to the world with something concrete. This impact is infinitely more powerful than any empty explanation. Success speaks for itself. Do not let the hurry to share delete the magic of the process. Take care of your plans and wait for the right time to reveal them when you are ready to win. Do you know that moment when you are excited about an idea and begin to explain every detail to others, hoping that it will help consolidate vision? The truth is that often the act of explaining ends up becoming a substitute for action. The more you talk, the more you postpone the execution. The secret is true magic happens when you start to do, not when you just speak. The action is what generates tangible results, while the explanation only fills the space. Many people get lost in the search for perfect and detailed explanations, thinking that this will make their plans more real. However, the reality is that ideas only become concrete when transformed into actions. By focusing on execution, you eliminate the need for external validation and diminish the chance of being distracted by opinions that can divert you from your path. Do not spend your time explaining something that does not yet exist. Put your energy where it really counts to make it happen. Execution requires concentration, discipline, and focus. This is because when you act, you need to make decisions, correct routes, and especially learn from errors. Each error brings with it a lesson that enhances the process. Being stuck with the explanation is a form of procrastination, where you feel productive, but in fact, you are just generating noise without real result. True productivity is to transform your ideas into concrete actions, which can be evaluated, adjusted, and improved along the way. There is a psychological component behind this obsession with explaining the search for acceptance. When talking about your plans, you unconsciously try to get approval from others, which generates a temporary sense of security. However, this sensation is fragile and does not bring real growth. When you focus on execution, you are strengthening yourself internally and learning to trust your ability to transform your own ideas into reality without the validation of anyone. In the end, the secret is to be an executor. Focus on work instead of wasting energy by explaining. Action is what generates movement, and movement is what leads you to realization. When you start seeing the actual results, instead of the explanations, you will be surprised by renewed confidence and motivation. Remember, execution is the biggest differential between those who dream and those who really achieve. Often the desire to share our plans is related to a very deep psychological need to search for validation. When we talk about what we are about to do, our brains receive a small dose of serotonin, the chemical associated with pleasure. This creates a temporary sense of fulfillment, as if we had already reached the ultimate goal. However, this is just an illusion. The secret is to realize that this sense of reward does not come from external approval, but from true action and real progress. By exposing our plans, we are often anticipating the recognition and acceptance of the people around us. This may seem positive, but in fact, this behavior can lead us to a dangerous path that disguises procrastination. When we receive positive compliments or feedback before we have made any concrete progress, the brain relaxes, believing we have done something important. But the true motivation comes from within, the need to build something from scratch without depending on the feedback of others. This desire for external validation can be stronger than you think. And the danger is that when you get used to the immediate gratification of sharing your plans and being approved, the impulse you need to move on with execution is lost. The solution is to focus on self-discipline and self-confidence, leaving aside the need to tell everyone about each step of the process. When you stop seeking this external gratification, you will begin to experience the true pleasure that comes from building and genuine realization. Criticism and judgments, on the other hand, are a reality when you share your plans prematurely. Not all the people around you will be willing to support your ideas. And what begins as an exciting project can be quickly demotivating when you come across contrary opinions or negative criticism. These external opinions, often without foundation, have the power to weaken their motivation and even cause doubts about their own ability. Keeping confidentiality about your plans protects you from external influences that can sabotage your trust. Finally, the real secret is to be able to make the decision to continue without the need for approval of anyone. To keep your plans and goals for yourself creates a protected space where you can act more clearly without distracting yourself with the expectations of others. By focusing on execution, you strengthen your resilience, confidence, and your ability to achieve, without depending on anyone to validate your actions. The secret is to follow firmly on your way, knowing that the only validation you really need is your own. Sharing your plans prematurely can be a dangerous trap because it opens the door for unwanted projections. By telling others what you are about to do, you allow your ideas to be filtered by other people's beliefs, fears, and insecurities. What could be a clear view of your future can be distorted by fears and external opinions. The secret is to understand that the opinions of others can often reflect more on their fears than the viability of their idea. By keeping your plans for yourself, you preserve them from a negative influence that these projections can cause. When you share your plans too early, you also expose yourself to external pressure that may be difficult to support. The expectations that others deposit over you begin to weigh, and the idea of having to work becomes stronger than the real motivation to create something of value. This type of pressure can generate anxiety and even paralysis, preventing you from taking the necessary steps to turn the idea into action. Maintaining confidentiality creates a quieter environment where the only judgment that matters is your own. In addition, by revealing your plans before you are well structured, you risk abandoning the idea due to the negative influences that arise. Well-meaning people can criticize your project without realizing that this can be discouraged. Instead of focusing on external criticism, the secret is to remain firm in your purpose, keeping your plans until they are ready to be revealed. Thus, you guarantee that your motivation remains unshakable without being diverted by the opinions of others. Another significant risk is the impact that premature sharing may have on its own perception of the project. When you talk about something before you realize, you can begin to believe that you have advanced more than you really advanced. This false sense of progress can lead to disinterest and procrastination, as you're already satisfied for talking about it. Instead of wasting time with explanations and justifications, the secret is to take the reins of the process, focusing on execution and doing the necessary work to turn their ideas into reality. Finally, sharing your plans too early can also compromise the impact you will have when the project is finally ready. By acting in silence, you build a solid foundation, and when the time comes to reveal your work, the surprise will be even greater. The secret of success is to keep the best for when it is already unbeatable. This way you create a powerful and definitive image of someone who not only talks about what you will do, but really do and conquer. Keeping your plans secret can be the key to maintaining focus, clarity, and productivity. When you share your ideas with everyone, You risk dispersing your energy on conversations, feedback, and external expectations. By maintaining the secret, you create an environment where your goal remains clean, without distractions and protected from external influences. The secret is not only a way to protect your dreams, but also a powerful strategy to ensure your attention is 100% focused on what really matters: execution. The state of flow psychology is one of the greatest allies of those who keep their plans secret. When you are in the flow, your focus is on total, and distractions cannot interfere with your performance. Talking about your plans can make your mind get lost in conversations and thoughts that add nothing to your progress. By protecting your plans, you keep your energy concentrated, which maximizes productivity and effectiveness. The secret is a psychological trick that keeps your brain immersed in what really matters. Surprising the world with its success is one of the greatest rewards of those who choose the path of secrecy. When you have something concrete to show, the sense of satisfaction is unmatched. The secret transforms the process of creation into an intense and focused movement, where you are dedicated to every detail, without hurry to share or be validated. And when the right time comes, the surprise is even greater. The impact of revealing a great achievement, without giving clues along the way, is something that marks and strengthens its self-confidence. By keeping your plans a secret, you get stronger psychologically. There is no external validation to get you out of your way, and the distractions are outside. One who keeps a secret about his intentions is becoming more resilient, more focused, and more determined. This creates a solid basis for action, as a true secret success is to act without pressure from the expectations of others, and without the desire to be validated ahead of time. Finally, the magic of secret is not only to preserve their plans, but to cultivate the discipline necessary to focus on execution. This creates a routine where each step taken is a victory. By keeping your intentions secret, you preserve your energy and increase your trust. The secret becomes an ally of your journey, ensuring that each action is an achievement on the path of success. The story is full of examples of great leaders and entrepreneurs who understood the power of secrecy. One of the most notable examples is that of Sun Tzu, author of The Art of War. He has always emphasized the importance of strategic concealment and keeping plans secret until it was the right time to act. This approach was fundamental to many of their military victories. In the business world, the application of this strategy is equally powerful. The secret creates an element of surprise that can turn the game to your advantage, causing the competition to underestimate your next steps. Another brilliant example is Spanx founder Sarah Blakely. When she started her entrepreneurial journey, the secret was one of her greatest allies. She knew that if she shared her idea of creating innovative Model R's underwear too early, distraction and criticism could undermine her confidence. Therefore, he worked in silence with full focus on execution. Blakely turned the secret into his fuel, and when he finally revealed his creation, success was thunderous. She proved that true strength is in execution, not speech. A well-known example in the world of technology is Uber's discreet growth. Before becoming a global phenomenon, Uber grew in confidentiality, away from the spotlight. Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp knew that when they shared very early on their revolutionary idea for transportation, they could suffer unnecessary criticism and obstacles. Therefore, they focused on building a solid platform, hidden from attention, until they were ready for the launch. This strategic movement allowed them to surprise the world and dominate the transportation market. Alexander himself, one of the greatest conquerors in history, also used confidentiality in his favor in his military tactics. Many of his most striking victories were possible due to information kept secret until the moment of battle. The secret of their movements was a key strategy to deceive enemies and ensure that their troops had the advantage of surprise. Alexander knew that by keeping his plans hidden, he could better control the outcome of battles, and this guaranteed him the rule of vast territories. These examples show that great achievements are often linked to the ability to keep plans secret. By avoiding early exposure, these leaders and entrepreneurs protected their ideas and project external influences, which allowed them to surprise and achieve. The secret is not just a protective technique, but a true strategic tool to ensure that your actions speak louder than empty words. Keeping confidentiality about your plans begins with a self-disciplined mindset. Self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses, even when the temptation to share something seems irresistible. When you learn to master your own impulses and not to be carried away by the need for external validation, you begin to protect your dreams more effectively. This involves resisting the desire to tell all the details of your plans and instead focus on the silent action that leads you to success. Another fundamental step is to form an intimate circle of trust. We all need someone to share our difficulties and victories with, but it is important to choose these people carefully. Maintaining a restricted circle of trust, consisting of individuals who share their values and respect their space, can be the key to protecting their ideas. This circle acts as a support network where you can discuss ideas without the risk of early exposure and external distractions. Remember, less is more when it comes to revealing your plans. The next practice is to prioritize actions instead of words. Words can be empty and often give us a false sense of progress. But the true advance comes from execution. Instead of spending hours explaining or debating your plans, focus on real work. The action, deep down, is what validates its intentions. When you keep the focus on doing it, not just speaking, your project becomes more robust, more advanced, and finally safer against criticism and distractions. One of the greatest secrets to maintaining confidentiality is to embrace the power of silence. Silence can be uncomfortable for many people, especially when they're surrounded by others who talk about their own successes. However, silence has a transforming power. It creates a space for reflection, action, and growth without external pressures. By practicing silence, you create a space protected for your ideas to develop, far from judgments, criticism, and expectations that can divert your trajectory. Lastly, let the success speak for you. When you finally reach your project, you will not need to explain the path taken. The success you built in silence will be your greatest proof. People will realize the quality of what you did, and your actions will speak louder than any word. Maintaining confidentiality is a way of protecting the purity of your vision, allowing your results, when they arrive, be your greatest achievement and source of validation. We have come to the end of this journey, and if there is something you should take with you, is the power to abandon the search for external validation. True strength is relying on its own potential and its ideas, without depending on the approval of others. When you get rid of the desire to be recognized before gaining something real, it begins to release your energy to focus on what really matters: action. Do not allow the search for compliments or recognition to interfere with your progress. The secret is to work in silence, with discipline and focus, until you have concrete results to show. Concentration at work, not words, will be your greatest ally. Remember, the world is full of distractions and external pressures, but the key to success lies in resisting these influences. When you keep your plans confidential, it preserves your clarity of thought and focus. You become immune to distractions that can divert your attention by focusing entirely on execution. Success does not depend on how much you say, but how much you do and realize. It's time to keep silent and let your achievements speak for themselves. Now surprise the world with its achievements. When you are finally ready to share what you created, the surprise will be even bigger and the impact will be stronger. The secret is not about talking about what you're going to do, but to accomplish with excellence and show the world the results of your hard work. The best achievements are those that come when no one expects, when you surprise your ability to work in silence and deliver something grand. Get ready to reveal your success epic. Finally, I invite you to share this video and help others understand the importance of protecting your dreams. Do not let social pressure or search for validation disturb the creation process. By sharing this knowledge, you not only strengthen your own goals, but also inspire others to maintain focus, action, and confidentiality in your own journeys. Let's create a movement of people focused on what really matters: execution, perseverance, and success. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. because we have much more powerful content coming. Together, we will reach our greatest achievements, always with focus, discipline, and action.